Hi Sagittarius, I hope you guys are doing great today. Welcome to your general messages for the 19th to the 28th. We're going to be doing career / money. So it's going to have to do with anything having to do with anything financial, a lawsuit, an inheritance, a divorce settlement, a business deal, a career, changing career, however it can manifest. And then relationship, I'm going to put in the description box below for relationship. I'll put the timestamp. So if you want to just go straight into that, no worries. Hope you guys are doing fantastic today. So we have a couple of things going on that's pretty nice. I feel like, finally Mercury is going to be finally coming out of retrograde. Venus and Mars are going to be squaring off until the 28th. So there can be some sort of wonky stuff going on having to do with relationship, networking, finances. Mercury stations on the 20th into the 21st, depending where you live. There's going to be stubbornness there. So if you have any sort of business dealings, just try not to do anything on those days. And I feel like a lot of you guys are. I'm only saying that because I do the full moon is in Virgo on the 27th. Is going to be hitting your 10th house, which I think is really great, by the way, but we'll mention that in a minute. Mercury goes direct on the 22nd. Give him about a week or two to come out of that post shadow. Mars and Pluto trine, definitely a beautiful 23rd to the 26th. Love it. Great for healing, positive transformation, investment. Great for Mars and Pluto trining. Excellent for investments, money stuff. Really good. Raising energy levels, accomplishing things, getting things done, feeling in your power. Really, really good. The 23rd to the 26th. Now on the 25th, kind of right in the middle of that beautiful trine, we have Venus entering Pisces. So the Sun enters Pisces already on the 18th, and then we have the Venus entering Pisces, and the Sun and Venus are going to be dropping from your third house into your fourth house. I'm going to tell you what this might mean, but really nice energy. Pisces is all about butterflies and unicorns and the colors of the rainbow. But the thing is here, and we're all going to be feeling, there's something that's going to feel hard to define and hard to satisfy. Like the borders and the boundaries are going to feel blurred with Venus and Pisces because of Neptune's influence. So the shadow side of this position can be us allowing ourselves to be victimized or deluded, or even cause us to be a little evasive right now. And we might be feeling this from other people as well. So it's like we want this thing, but we're really not totally sure. It's kind of foggy, but we feel it. So go with the good. Try to avoid any sort of getting swept up in the illusion of something, right? You want to just be careful of that. But really nice energy. And then we have the full moon in Virgo. So it's the full moon in Virgo with the Sun in Pisces. So this axis is it's the service axis, right? It really is about, what do we need to do on a day-to-day to feel good, to be good, right? I mean, the Virgo's all about, it's the rule of the sixth landlord of the sixth house. So it's something in work, diet, health, your daily routines, your employees, your employers, something there coming to an end or coming to fruition, something happening there where there's this change, and it's going to be illuminated as it's this culmination of a promise that was started in the new moon energy, right? So it's going to be looking at and really trying to strike a balance between work and service, what's practical, what's not practical, criticism and acceptance. And the reason why I feel like you guys are going to be feeling it, besides the fact that you're a mutable sign and all the mutables are going to be feeling it quite strongly, so you, Virgo, Gemini, and Pisces, but because you guys have it in your 10th house, this is going to be happening in your career house, in your career sector. So we're about to do career here. That's why I wanted to mention it to you. So what's interesting here is like, you're going to be feeling new things, and revelations are going to be coming to you, and it's going to feel almost emotional. And there's this sense of these realizations kind of bursting forth, right? But this is the thing. You're going to want to express something to get it out of your system having to do with career. But over the next 2 weeks, you're going to discover internally like what this means to you. If you're going to communicate whatever it is that you're feeling having to do with your career sector, you want to use a lot of care while communicating that, because whatever is coming out of us in whatever house that this full moon is hitting, we're not going to feel very rational about it yet, because we're not going to have all of the information. So it's definitely an eye-opening energy. It's all about balance. Beautiful harmony with Uranus, this one. So this tells me easy acceptance of change and progress. So I really like it. I feel like a lot of you guys are going to be going through now when I say money, you're confused, right? So this guy had to pop out, so I'm just going to put him there. Because we have Venus and the sun dipping from your third house into your fourth house, which has to do with home, and the third house, you still have Saturn and Jupiter in there, and Mercury's going to be in there. Those are the third house can be all about business and communication, right? And doing all of that. And then with the sun and Venus dipping into the fourth house, it's great if you guys are looking to purchase any real estate, if you're looking to move, if you're looking to take care of anything in your home. There's going to be a huge focus on the idea of home. It's really like an inheritance situation, any sort of investment, the moving in or moving out of a home. So, and that speaks to our money sector as well, does it not? Right? Particularly if how you're resonating with the financial area in your life right now. Maybe it's because you're getting divorced. Maybe it's because you're separating from something. Mixed bag here of uprights and reversals. Reversals aren't always bad. So this Two of Swords is, well, they're never bad, they just are. Okay, so we have coming into this energy, we have the Hermit in the upright. So this tells me that you were in a space where it was time to step back and analyze what is not working in your career or in this financial situation or whatever it is, right? I mean, this is not the relationship portion of the reading, but you stepping back to say like finances in the relationship, finances in that business connection, whatever it is. And feeling like it's time to try a new path or a new approach. This could also indicate a mentor or somebody being very helpful for you at this time. Maybe you meet somebody who has a little bit more experience than you, or somebody who's just able to help you out. With the Hangman energy that we have coming into this is a Neptune energy, and Neptune just is about confusion, right? It really is. But having to do with career and money, things might seem unclear with you right now, having to do with either work or money. If so, hold back on signing contracts or dealing with legal matters. It's very funny that this popped out as I was discussing Mercury stationary, right, on the 20th to the 21st, as that is what this can mean, like just hold back, right? Because something might be going on here that you're not yet aware of, but you intuitively vibe. So you might experience some sort of delays, but ultimately you are going to be successful with whatever it is that you're trying to push forth. So here it's like, okay, I have to change things. And here we have the Ace of Pentacles. So maybe some of you are working on a new project, you're getting a new job, you just started a new lawsuit, you started something in play, right? But this is auspicious for every area of your life. It really is. This is again, could be a new job, but there's whatever it is going to bring a foundation of stability. You really don't want to doubt the whatever fortunate turn of events are going on for you right now, because you do deserve it. Just kind of like hang with that. There are good things happening for you, but you want to make sure that you don't get in your own way, Sagittarius, because we do have the Three of Cups in the reverse here. And working with the Three of Cups in reverse, this is gossip, too much partying, not showing up in that responsible way, or feeling like you just don't have the support that you need to actually move forward in something. So maybe you have a new idea and you're starting a new business, right? You're doing something, but you need more support. And that's where the confusing Hangman could come in. It's like you're vibing something isn't right, so it's like, should I sign that? Should I not sign that? Should I accept that offer? Should I not? And the cards are saying like, just wait a little bit. Just wait a little bit. We have the Eight of Pentacles in the reverse as the crowning energy. So this is about having a lack of focus, focusing on too much on something being too perfect, because it's like almost like being too ambitious, too perfect. But at the same time, remember the 8, no matter whether we're dealing with an upright or a reversal, is always about mastery, right? It's mastery. So this is the need to really work on something, possibly to repair something as well. This can indicate a lack of focus or ambition. But it's because of this idea of perfectionism. It's not lazy. It's like you're so it's almost like, now this could be either you or an energy that you're dealing with, right? Having to do with the finances here, where somebody is looking for all of the circumstances, the entire situation to be so perfect that it's airtight. And then, I mean, ideally that would be great, but there's no such thing as perfect. Something could always happen, right? Is always the idea. But you're probably going to have to wait a little bit on it. The sun, even though the sun is reversed, it's still totally positive. There's no way ever for the sun to not be positive. It's always. It just means that there might be a little bit of a delay in it, this element of waiting, which is fine, right? This is only the end of February, right? So working something out, right, makes sense. We have Mercury's just coming out of retrograde and shadow, so that makes sense to me. Now, representing you and only you, we have the King of Swords in the reverse. So this is, okay. Sagittarius, you want to make sure that you're not manipulating anybody. You want to make sure that you're being super honest regarding some sort of situation that you're dealing with. You might be very uncomfortable as I'm speaking about this to you, and I hope you don't, right? Because this is your energy. This is not an energy that you're dealing with, and this is somebody who can try to bribe somebody, or who might be very abrupt, very challenging to deal with, have their own agenda regarding a situation. The energy external to you, right, that's impacting you right here, is we have the Empress Reverse, and this is about dependence on you, okay? Somebody with very limited resources, somebody who's not able to grow. So Sagittarius, you might be dealing with an ex, right? Let's just say, for example, an ex-wife or an ex-husband, and maybe you have more than them, and they're relying on you to either, if you're working something out where maybe you're getting divorced or something like that, where there's not this meeting of the mind between who needs what and who deserves what, right? So it's kind of like the two of you here are going to end up being in a bit of a stalemate. We got the stalemate card here too. The Two of Swords is the stalemate, it's like, now I'm just using that as an example. This could also be a business partner, just could be some sort of situation external to you, where like the money that's needed for a situation or the support that's needed to grow a situation, it's not there. And it's almost like you guys are, how do I say that? It's almost like you're playing chess, right? Mental chess. And I feel like, though, it's like you feel like you must be like this, otherwise they're going to try to take your shirt. And you're not a stupid person by any stretch, right? So you're in this space of needing to negotiate. Not a comfortable energy at all between you and this other person. We have the Knight of Swords. The Knight of Swords in reverse. This is your challenge, all right? So the Knight of Swords in reverse, very kind of like violent outbursts, somebody who's very deliberately mean, deliberately cruel, deliberately manipulative, deliberately just watching out for themselves. So, I want to go back to the fact that you came up as the King of Swords reverse. You're the King of Swords reverse because you're dealing with the Empress reverse. You really don't want to deal with this, but it's almost like, something happens and you're responding to it. So, yeah. Definitely, because then we have the Seven of Wands, which is you feel like you have to defend yourself. You're like defending yourself. This is obstacles, right? But you're going to have the resilience to overcome whatever the challenges that you're dealing with here. It's definitely a successful energy. Eventually, morality, your personal philosophy is going to be very, very important to you right now. But you may feel like it's very likely, because it's a Mars and Leo energy, that you feel like you have to defend yourself and draw a line in the sand and say, look, I'm not doing this. I'm willing to do this. This is what I'm willing to do. That is what I'm not willing to do. And you're going to have to do that. But check it out. We get the Two of Swords as the final outcome. And the thing, I just feel like this is very strong. Okay, I'm getting these feelings very, very strong. But also the fact that something is going to be so illuminated in that 10th house, in this full moon. Virgo rules your day-to-day work experience. 10th house is about your career. Something's going to be illuminated. You're not going to be able to ignore it, you know. So we have this Two of Swords energy, which again is kind of like this it's like you're literally at a stalemate with yourself, right? But a decision needs to be made, and your tendency is going to be you're going to want to protect yourself, right? But the situation isn't going away. Like, you can't think your way out of this. You can't continue to negotiate the same way as you've been. They can't do that either. Something needs to change in order to resolve, and it should be resolved now. Stand your ground, though. Say what you think, right? A decision about the situation, though, is definitely needed. Ultimately is the outcome, which is dealing with a challenging energy here. But it's like you're giving them the same stuff back. It's like you're waiting. You don't want to wait anymore. You don't want to defend yourself anymore. You don't want to feel confused. At the same time, it's like you very intuitively feel there's more going on than you're privy to. And you're really going to be jiving with that. Time to go. Yeah, I mean, the Two of Swords. It's time to go. I mean, this has to be resolved one way or another, for sure. Or offend. You feel a lack of support here. And regeneration. It's time to rebuild yourself. Wow, I really like those for you. Those are really great. Seriously. So we have Jupiter, awesome. Your ruler, Jupiter, luck and expansion, Aquarius, doing things differently, taking what you're doing something different, out of the box, focused on the future. Oh, and then we have the 4th house. Oh, that's neat. But neat, listen to me. Only because we have Sun and Venus going into your 4th house of home. So this could have to me, I'm resonating with this. If it doesn't have anything to do with any kind of investment, home investment, this has to do with like somebody moving out, moving in, something like that, having to do with a marriage situation. But it's just like there needs to be a resolution here. So that's what I have for this portion of your reading. I hope this was helpful in some way. Obviously, guys, you know that's not going to resonate with everybody. These are general messages. I don't know what your birth chart says. I don't know what what transits are triggering what right now, right? These are just for the archetype of Sagittarius, and you want to think of it as a weather report, right? It does not account for human choice. All right, so this is my sage on my black velvet. It's not dirt. All right. Going to go into relationship. Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus relationship. Sagittarius need to understand now. Mars. Decision needs to be made after a challenging time. Hermit in the past. Okay, just put these here. Let me pull the oracles too first. So I see in the past we have the Hermit energy. So the Hermit is a Virgo energy. Some of you some of you may not be in relationship. You may have gone through a period where you're just kind of going it alone. It's about healing too, you know. It's very much a problem-solving energy. So if you're alone, it's because whatever you were in up to that point wasn't meant for you, and it was time to really work on yourself, and you knew that. Thinking about your past experiences so that you wouldn't repeat mistakes in the future. If you're in a relationship, this could certainly indicate that it's time to invest more energy and work in it to smooth over any issues that need addressing. So that's the energy coming up into this time period. So let's just pull 4 of these. Okay. And then we have the situation right now, lovers. So the lover's energy, I'm going to pull the cards up as soon as I pull all these other oracles. But the lover's energy is Gemini, and it's about needing to make a decision in love. So if you're single, this being this just kind of realization that you have to love yourself first to release any blocks so that you can manifest the right relationship when it comes along. For those who are partnered, it really is about understanding that everybody's got to be on the same page in order to work something out. And do you want to work it out? Again, and that's the idea there. I mean, it's got to be a decision. This is about, maturity, love, relationship. And, and in numerology, this is linked to the devil. And the devil is about imbalance, right? So really looking at where has the imbalance been in the relationship, and do you both want it equally do you both equally want it to work? Are you able to look, if you're single, you're looking at the past experiences that you have in a really honest way, though. There's got to be a lot of honesty here because you're not hiding from anybody really here, right? So there's no, with the lover's energy, you get the blessing of Archangel Raphael and the sun if you guys decide together as a team to join forces and fix something. So it's kind of like, let's go to counseling, let's try different strategies, let's have like date night every da-da-da-da-da, having some sort of strategy, because we have this working with the temperance energy here. Temperance is Sagittarius, and this does indicate, though, that there's a new level of trust and patient cooperation can be had in this relationship if you're in a relationship after a pretty challenging time period. Now, for those of you who are single, you might find yourself energetically or spiritually pulled towards a new partner. Definitely an emotionally intense time. So either way, I mean, it's good. There seems to like forward movement here, growth, but it's all grounded in this idea of decision, right? So we have strength energy as the crowning. So if your relationship has been tested, things are going to improve. There is the need for balance, though. And you always want to be careful with the strength energy because it's Leo. Leo's fire. Leo is the landlord of the 5th house of falling in love, of romance, the act of sex. You always want to be careful. That physical attraction can end up serving to mask deeper issues that need to be addressed here. So you want to make sure that if something is really important that you need to discuss, talk about it, then don't just like jump in bed, right? You don't want to do that. And somebody may need their ego stroked here as well, is also indicated with this, because you might find like somebody's got strong opinions and they need help calming down their ego so that their mind can open up. So you may feel like, you're in the situation where you may need to like sort of like temper the situation, right? Going back to the Temperance, this is an alchemical card. It's like, what does everybody need? It really is the ultimate card of cooperation, right? Everybody's got to be on the same page, though, because if you're not, it's not going to work. It's going to be too imbalanced. But I like that we get the foundation as the 3 of coins. This is very nice. This is about collaborating together. And through that collaboration, you guys are able to not only have a good relationship, but be able to figure out where you're going in your relationship. This is why I call it like the architect card, right? Where it's, you guys go in and you figure out how are you going to work things moving forward. It's a kind of like a rewarding energy. Really allowing the beautiful aspects of the relationship to shine. Allow it to come out. You might even find that there are people in your life who are a little envious or a little jealous of this relationship that you have. Be careful of those people because they can end up being a problem in the union. It's a little too much talky talk in somebody's ear. You just want to be mindful of that. Now we have the 5 of Swords as you right now. So this is the thing, Sag. There might be argument that you're in right now, right, with the person. But the argument is more about, like, first of all, before I even get into that, you're experiencing a clash right now between your desires and reality. So there's this tension and ongoing conflict that you're not going to win, though. It's like you want something, but the reality of something is something else, but you're not going to win this. So it's like there's some sort of conflict that you find yourself in, but you're not the core cause of it. And so because of that, you can't mitigate it. You can only You can only mitigate things that you're in control of, having to do with you and your life and your choices, right? So it's actually better to just walk away. Now, this is a minor arcana. I'm not saying to leave the relationship, but walk away from some sort of situation, allow some breathing room, have some grace, deal with your anger and disappointment. Again, you can't mitigate this stuff to fix the unfixable. Because there's something here like, well, let's see with them. They're the Page of Swords. So the Page of Swords is, truth coming out, right? Some sort of useful truth coming out. And you also might be dealing with somebody who's rather insensitive, a little forward with their in the way they speak, and the thing is, this person doesn't mean bad. It's like they're not a bad person. They could just be kind of abrupt and insensitive when they speak, but they're a good soul. They are. But this is about them being honest with you about something, right? Or you realizing something about them. Because the page is always like a deliverer of news, and it's swords, so it's truth. So some sort of truth coming out about this person that you've been with. But it's like, the page is kind of like, it's more of an immaturity thing rather than them being malicious, if that makes sense. Now we have the Magician in the Challenge. You're having really a hard time figuring out how this is all going to work. Right? I mean, the Magician energy is, it's about action and problem solving and creativity and being able to manifest, right? So if, you're in a relationship, really ideally, this is really trying to work at better communication, but you might be challenged with that right now. You want to resolve problems, but you're not able to do it right now. You want to have a deeper understanding, but you're not able to do it right now. And it could be because somebody is not communicating with you in a very, very healthy way. You want to have this joint venture with them. But if you're dealing with the page, you got to understand, like, that is just I'm not saying that they're not intelligent. It's just they may be emotionally immature, right? So their EQ, their emotional intelligence, might be a little challenged right now. And that's getting in the way here, which can be frustrating for sure. So we have this idea of trying to work it out here, right? Very much trying to work it out. I mean, there's a lot of working it out here. I do see, for those of you who are in a connection, we have the Three of Swords, or the card of pain, is the near future. And Sagittarius, we say, in many ways we can hurt each other. It's Saturn in Libra, right? So it's that challenge in the relationship sector. It does not have to mean a third party, but it could be heartbreak, pain, betrayal, depression. Could also indicate divorce in some cases. But whatever it is, the clouds of doubt are cleared. And all you can really do here is just face the reality of a situation, because any confusion that you've been feeling, though, up to that point, because this is the near future, is going to be gone, and you're going to be in a position to begin to move on from whatever shock, whatever betrayal, whatever pain, whatever disappointment. Maybe it could even just be disappointment, and just begin some really, really good healing. So for some of you, it could just simply be that. Three of Swords is also a surgery card. So there could be some argument about somebody getting a procedure, not getting a procedure. That's going to resonate with some of you. We have as the final outcome card, though, the Nine of Swords, which is anxiety, overwhelm, worry, trouble sleeping, depression. Not responding well to an external stress because your way out of something is not clear. So I feel like there is this very almost palatable tension between what you desire, right, as I mentioned before, and what can actually be your reality right now. And it's very frustrating. We have this idea of self-indulgence first. Focus on self-worth, time to heal, shadow work, self-appreciation, really working on yourself right now. It's being clarified by, I need more time to figure things out, but I don't want to lose you. So somebody is confused. Then we have Coffin. Endings bring new beginnings, growth, change, liberation, transition. Being apart has been life-changing for me. So, if you guys were relating with the Hermit as you were going it alone for a bit, and then the Lovers, you were making a decision to figure things out after having a hard time, this does indicate that being apart has been life-changing for one of you or both of you, and that ending is bringing new beginning. This is a karmic relationship. There are fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go and loving you. Not easy. Lots of roller coaster energy here. I love you, but I'm afraid to lose my freedom, and I don't know how to balance this. That might be you, Sag, right? Only because you guys still like your freedom. You do. I'm across the chart from you. I'm Gemini, and so we have that in common, right? Gemini and Sagittarius love being in relationships. Love it, love it, love it. But they still have to have a certain sense of freedom, right? The archetype I'm talking about. It depends on what your rising sign is and all of that. Then we have finally girl with the snake, empath and narcissist paradigm, being charmed or used, enabling boundaries. And then we have clarifying that you've been in my dreams. This is very interesting because it does seem like there is this back and forth, right? And it's like when you're not together, you're not happy. Then when you're together, there could be some control issues and some insecurity and vulnerability issues. But then when you're not together, it's one way. And then when you're together, it's still not good. And it's like you're not good when you're together, and you're not good when you're not together. And it's trying to figure it out. And that paradigm, we're just calling it the empath and narcissist paradigm. We're not diagnosing anybody here, right? It's just obviously it's all metaphorical. But it's this idea of I come after you, you come after me, I come after you, you come after me. Right? And it's this idea of boundary issues, this idea of enabling things to go on in the relationship. And the fact that we have, you've been in my dreams with this, I feel like there's realization about this within this connection right now. So let's just pull a couple whispers of love. And then we'll let our Sagittarius friends go about their day. Be supportive. Make a genuine effort to show you care. Demonstrate love. Find out what is important to those you love and act on it. Right? Loving somebody the way they want to be loved and not the way we think they should be, the way we think they would want to be loved. It's difficult, right? Do something for someone, give your attention to another. So there's a lot of giving here. There's definitely a lot of giving here, Sagittarius. So, yeah. Now, I do want to say, for those of you who are married, the fact that the full moon in Virgo is lighting up your 10th house. The 10th house also does represent our public reputation and our standing in the world. So it does indicate marriage as well. So there can be realizations regarding your marriage that need addressing. For those of you in that space, not every Sagittarius is married. Not everybody's going to resonate with it like that. But I did want to throw that out there for you. Okay, my friends, that is what I have for you. I hope this was helpful in some way. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.